I want to give you a couple of tips today for a situation that happens a lot. A lot of times people come to me and say, hey, Mike, I'm trying everything and I can't get into this particular agency. No matter what I try, I've called contracting officers, I've called small business reps, I've talked to program managers, and basically I get hung up on people don't want to take my calls, they don't return my emails. I've tried submitting some proposals and it's crickets. Literally nothing going on. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Can you help me with that? So, number one is I want you to look at the data. I want you to look at the data and make sure you're chasing the right customer. Because let's say you're trying to sell a service and you assume that the Department of Transportation buys this particular service. And you are just going hardcore all the time trying to sell to the Department of Transportation, but you haven't looked at the data. And I pull the data and I realize that yes, the Department of Transportation has bought that service over, say, the last 20 years, but they've only bought it once or twice or whatever it may be. You may just simply be trying to sell to the wrong agency. And so let's take a step back, number one, and look at the data. Let's look at the data and make sure we're trying to sell to the right organizations. And then from there, we can start to make some better decisions. Number two is look at your message. Is your message just, hey, we're a small business, we sell this service, you should buy from us? That is often what companies' message is. It's nothing more than that. There's no other value, metrics, or anything like that. If the value you provide is that you are a company, so listen to this, you're a company who sells this service or this product, that's not any value. That's what 1,000 other companies do. They sell that product or service. What's the value you actually provide? So number two is actually examine your message and see if you're actually communicating the value you provide. And so if you've done step 1 and 2, you've looked at the data, you've checked out how you're communicating the value and all that sort of thing, and you're still striking out, especially with one particular agency, my recommendation is change the agency. There's nothing at the end of the day that says you have to sell to Department of Transportation or CDC or U.S. Treasury or the Army or the Navy or the whatever, fill in the agency. There's nothing specific that says you have to sell to that organization. And in fact, what if that organization, I said this earlier in the week about somebody else, what if that organization already has somebody that they're very happy with, that's knocking it out of the park, that sells the same product or service as you do? It's not that they don't want to talk to you, it's that they're extremely happy. So you're going to have to be very creative, roll up your sleeves and figure that out. But maybe if you just pivot to another agency, you get in like that. So think about that. We were pulling some data the other day for a client, and I said, look, if you just look at this NAICS code and all of the spend that's happening, it's going to tell you that this organization, this one, and this one, this is the top 4 organizations that buy what you sell. But you guys are a WOSB that's selling this service. So if I just check the box for that and look, oh, look what happened. All of the numbers just flip-flop, and those are no longer the top 4 that buy that NAICS code from WOSBs. It's a totally different set of organizations that are buying that. So sometimes a simple criteria change in your search will net a whole different result and give you a new target list to chase. So that's one of the reasons why the data is so important. So examine the data, make sure your messaging is right. And sometimes at the end of the day, step 3 here, or suggestion number 3, whatever you want to call it, you just have to pivot to another agency. And look, that doesn't mean no, you can't ever sell to the original one. Maybe you give them 6 months, a year or so for things to shift around and change, and you go back to them. But at the end of the day, your objective as a business owner is to sell your products and services. It doesn't matter who, and if it's not working, pivot to somebody else, sell to them, make it work, and then go back to the other folks. So try that. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to help you with this. I'd like to help you bust through those plateaus and get to that next level. So reach out if you have any questions. We'll see you next time.